Alright guys, CD Projekt Red officially announced that a fourth game in the series of Witcher games, going by a new saga begins, is as of this moment in the making. Just a quick shout out, no further details regarding the game itself, other than we'll likely hear more on the new game in the coming months and that it is being developed using Unreal Engine 5. Yo, Bandai Namco just came up with a reveal of a brand new One Piece game going by Odyssey. What happens to be a turn-based RPG set in the same iconic world as the series' manga. Apparently this project's been in the works for many years as well, and it is currently planned to release this year, possibly around October, coming to pretty much every single platform except Switch. Check it out.
With blackened lungs, filled with the sound of the battles won.
About a couple of weeks ago, the same folks who previously developed Ashen, which is one of the most known action RPGs of 2018, came up with a brand new project going by Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, an open world action RPG as well. This game is said to be coming to the PlayStation 5, 4, the Xbox consoles and PCs, possibly late 2022. They also came up with just a cinematic trailer and said to make sure to stay tuned for more on gameplay soon.
Of the powders below, and laugh in the faces of the gods below.
Now, just so you get a better idea, what is going on with the new Dead Space remake? Personally, I actually thought it's just the graphics, but they're actually redeveloping the entire game from scratch. The sounds are all different, the jump scares, the health level, guns, everything. Check it out, this game's due out early next year and coming to PCs, Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5.
We burned paradise. We lit the fire and fled. But death followed.
Forever Skies is now set to initially launch in early access phase in about a few months from now. In the meantime, you can also wishlist the game in case you're hyped about already. If not, well, just bear in mind. This game's a first-person, post-apocalyptic survival shooter where you'll be in charge of an airship to traverse the world itself. And in case you are new to as well, this is how it actually looks like.
Welcome to Hogwarts Legacy. You're a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with a unique ability to manipulate powerful ancient magic hidden in the wizarding world.
Avalanche Software about 7 days ago or some, and actually after an entire year of silence, officially revealed Hogwarts Legacy's gameplay. They said this game is a single-player experience that includes co-op modes and not a multiplayer game at its core. That it is indeed an open-world adventure set in the same universe, school as in the movies, and it'll eventually launch during holidays this year. Check it out.
You will be sorted into one of the 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. After you settle into your dormitory, you will meet up with your housemates in the common room. You will then need to attend classes, and you do have some catching up to do, as you were starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year.
So you are the new student.
You'll begin your studies attending Charms, Defense Against the Dark Arts, Herbology, and Potions classes, to name a few.
Hey soldier, wake up. You okay?
I'm okay.
Get up.
Want to learn Chinese in 5 minutes? Or maybe get a PhD in quantum physics in just 1 hour? With the launch of the Collective 2.0, all this knowledge will be available to anyone!
We have Atomic Heart, which is probably the single most anticipated AAA game in the making when it comes to post-apocalyptic open-world games, although set in the past and not the future. Otherwise, I'd have to say, well, Stalker 2. Nonetheless, an incredible game in almost every single aspect. Atomic Heart will now be released for PCs and consoles and due out in the final quarter of 2022. In case you've missed out on, here's even a brand new gameplay trailer.
Going on?
The robots are out of control. They're killing everyone. We know who's behind.
Krat, blossomed into fortune by hands of craftsmen. Truly, a beautiful city.
So, I'm gonna just go and say exactly what I said last week. Because in case you didn't realize yet, Elden Ring actually broke the sales charts out of any genre this year. So here's what I'm getting at. What if From Software, developers of Elden Ring, decided to make a Pinocchio game? The answer to that would be Lies of P, what we have here. A Souls-like action RPG starring Pinocchio. This project right now doesn't have a specific release date besides 2023, but we do know it'll be released on PCs in the next generation of consoles, and this is how it actually looks like. Now, you probably noticed this already, that there's quite a bit of an attempt out there for indie developers to come up with a new game just as good as the old Dead Space game, or even better. Considering we already have Dead Space Remake and also the Callisto Protocol in the making, one of the top clones of the Dead Space formula that's being developed for years now goes by Quantum Error. This one's actually being built with Unreal Engine 5 and it is coming to the next generation of consoles only, in addition to PCs, and sometime next year. Check it out in case you missed it.
go. I have a bad feeling about this.
Moving on, it's The Wanted Dead, literally one of the most talked about IPs since January. It was specifically one of the projects that I was blown away by back a few months ago when it was revealed with just like 20 seconds of gameplay. This game is a hack and slasher and a third-person shooter, kind of like Showa American Story, which is another game in the making, and it is now scheduled to come out later this year into PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and also PCs. Check it out. I've mentioned this one probably a dozen times already, but Evil West is a Western-themed action-adventure game from a few months back, or at least what we thought would be an action-adventure, and then not long after, turned out to be one of the manliest hack-and-slashers of 2022. If you do like adrenaline, Evil West is probably the best you're gonna get out of this list today. This game is gonna be coming out to both generations of consoles in addition to PCs sometime later this year.
Danger. Rise. You must stop them. Time to join your ancestors.
Only 2 months ago, although I kind of just found out about this one myself, Illusion Lands came our way as a brand new third-person slasher game at its core, but one where you could use magic as well, just like Skyrim or the Witcher games. This announcement came around with an entire minute of gameplay and the news that soon we'll have a free demo available for it on Steam as well. Check it out in case you missed it. About a couple of months ago, Crytek also came up with the news that Crysis 4 has been in the making for a while now. That it ain't gonna be coming out in 2022, probably not even 2023, and neither it'll be a past generation console game. With that said though, there's zero to so little information available at the moment regarding the new chapter. Hopefully we'll get some in the following months. In the meantime, all we gotta do is to just wait a little longer. Coming up behind that, we have what Square Enix officially announced to be the most visually impressive open-world game ever, if we're talking next generation consoles only. A game going by Forspoken, previously titled Project Athia, for those of you unfamiliar, for which they also just came up with a brand new trailer for it, in addition to the news that this open-world action RPG releases on 11th of October this year, and into PlayStation 5 and PCs only.
Let's finish this.
Moving on, it is the one and only Pragmata. One of those projects that actually has the potential to be an incredible hit when it comes to mystery projects, and to be honest, well, precisely because so far for which we've had no actual gameplay revealed yet. In any case, I'm just hoping all goes well with this one. I really have high hopes for this for some reason. Hopefully we'll also get some gameplay for it later this year, and in case you should know, this game is actually coming out next year.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere.
Alright guys, some folks at the Santa Monica Studios just announced that God of War Ragnarok will actually come out in 2022, and possibly around October this year. This news actually comes from a few days back, in addition to the fact that the game is coming to the PlayStation 5 and 4, and it is only a matter of time before we get an official trailer for it, so keep it in mind.
What in all yarns be the happen to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
No! You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person?
Faith of Danshant, Hereafter, well, at the moment doesn't have a release date, but it is confirmed to be released on PCs and consoles, possibly sometime in the spring this year. For those of you new, this game is an action RPG inspired by Chinese mythology, and also the sequel to the old 2017 Faith of Danshant original, for which so far this is the only trailer they came up with.
Death to all who get in my way.
"教会已经下了通缉令，我猜你不会束手就擒，出手吧。"
Moving on, we have Lost Soul Aside, probably the oldest project to have been announced, technically speaking, I would say from some like 6 years ago. But here, once again, from a couple of months back, with not just a few but 20 more minutes of gameplay. This game is targeting the PlayStation 4 and 5, in addition to PCs and throughout mid to late 2022. Check it
一
out.
切都起源于你。他们是什么？我已经查出来了。
要抓紧时间。
这种非人的力量，看来我找对人了。
非人，这个词更适合你吧。
You venture into these shattered halls, seeking lost glory.
And last but not least, it is Alterborn. This is the latest third-person survival shooter from Iron Lung Studio, according to which, taking inspiration from a number of different genres and touted as a blend of Souls-like, roguelike, looter shooters, and more. Check this out. Alterborn is on its way to PCs and next-generation consoles as well in the third quarter of 2023, and this is how it actually looks like.
Like a moth to the flame, you still push forth. Yes. You see it now, don't you? Your futile quest can only end in one way. Tap into the power within. Embrace it, or be consumed by it.